Hey guys, HDV here, and welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon discussion video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at who is the best new normal type Pokemon in Sun and Moon across all of the new Pokemon released. I will of course not be going over any legendaries or ultra beasts that may have the normal typing because they're just stronger in general. I won't also be going over any of the old Pokemon that have the normal typing as well, just because we're only concentrating on the new Pokemon, so that's all that's going to be featured in this video. I will however be going over the stats, the abilities they get, the dual typing if they have one, what they're strong and weak against, and also their move pool, just to try and create a better idea of who is the best new normal type Pokemon in Pokemon Sun and Moon. So with introductions out of the way, let's get into the video, and I really hope that you enjoy. Okay, so first up we have Toucannon, which I'm a big fan of that name already, but I really like this Pokemon as well. I really like the design of it. The beak's just like so powerful, and I love how like the color kind of blends from red to yellow. But this is a dual typing of normal and flying type with the abilities Keen Eye, Skill Link, and Sheer Force. So some really good abilities there. Keen Eye, obviously the least best out of the three, which prevents the Pokemon from losing any accuracy. Skill Link is very nice because basically it makes all the multi-strike hits such as Bullet Seed or Double Slap or Fury Attack, something like that. They all hit 5 times every single time, so that's very, very handy. And then the last ability is Sheer Force, which increases the power of moves that have beneficial secondary effects by 30%, but removes those additional effects. So basically if you use like Fire Fang or something, which can obviously cause a burn, that would cancel out, but the power would be increased by 30%. So that is a very, very nice ability as well. Being a dual typing with normal and flying, it is immune to ground and ghost, which is very nice. And it also resists grass and bug, but it is weak to electric, ice, and rock. Toucannon has a stat total of 485 with a base HP stat of 80, physical attack stat of 120, which is very nice, 75 physical defense, 75 special attack, 75 special defense, and 60 speed. So another slow Pokemon, but hits very, very hard on the physical side of things. Obviously evolves from Trumbeak at level 28, and it's just kind of like the bird of Sun and Moon. Obviously you get like your Pidgeots and your Staraptors and stuff like that. Toucannon is just kind of the bird Pokemon for Sun and Moon. It does get a very nice move in Beak Blast, and it is a 2-turn move, but it heats up its beak and then attacks the target. If you make direct contact with the Pokemon while it's heating up its beak, it results in a burn. So if you use Beak Blast and something attacks you on the physical side, they are going to get burnt. So that is very, very clutch in in competitive scene. Also gets moves such as like Bullet Seed as well, which obviously can go really handy with Skill Link. Does get moves such as Drill Peck, Roost for reliable recovery, Hyper Voiced, some very good moves there. Gets some pretty good egg moves as well. It gets Boom Burst, which is obviously Stab. It gets Brave Bird, Tailwind as well. Gets some alright TMs as well. It gets some things such as Brick Break, gets Flame Charge, Aerial Ace, Overheat, Steel Wing, Swords Dance, which is nice. Gets U-Turn as well, so switch initiative there. I'm a big fan of Toucannon. I really like the Pokemon, and I just love how each Pokemon kind of has like something unique about it. Obviously Beak Blast is Toucannon's unique thing, but it's really, really cool move, and no, definitely don't write it off in the competitive scene if you come up against one, because it is a very strong Pokemon. But up next we have Gumshoos, who is a normal type Pokemon, who's kind of just like the low root Pokemon of this generation. So he's kind of like the Raticate or the Linoon or something like that. It's just kind of like the 2-stage Pokemon that you find early on in the game. But this Pokemon is just a single type of normal with the ability Stakeout, Strong Jaw, and Adaptability. So some very nice abilities there actually. Stakeout enables the Pokemon to deal twice the normal damage to any Pokemon that switches in or enters the field mid-battle, so that's a really nice ability. Also has Strong Jaw as well, which increases the power of all biting moves by 50%, such as Bite, Crunch, Fire Fang, Hyper Fang, all those kind of moves, so that's also very, very nice. And it also gets Adaptability as well, which obviously increases the effectiveness of stab moves from the usual 1.5 to 2 times. So 3 incredible abilities on this thing, which is really, really nice. Obviously being just a normal type, it is immune to Ghost and weak to fighting, so it kind of just normal isn't the best typing, obviously we already know this. It does have a stat total of 418, so not the highest. It does have HP of 88, 110 physical attack, 60 physical defense, 55 special attack, 60 special defense, and 45 speed, and obviously evolves from Yungoos in the daytime at level 20. The moves that this Pokemon learns are Pursuit, which is nice, gets Bite, Crunch, Hyper Fang, so they are all going to get boosted up by Strong Jaw. Also gets Last Resort and Revenge through egg moves. Gets some alright TMs as well. It gets Rock Tomb, Echoed Voice, Bulldoze, U-Turn, which is nice, Payback, Fling, and Earthquake as well in return. So some pretty good nice moves. I think the the fact that you can run any one of those 3 abilities makes it kind of it's going to be quite difficult to try and find what set the Gumshoos is that you're going up against. So obviously it doesn't have the best stat total and it doesn't have the best typing, but still 3 really good abilities make it so, you know, it's not, you can't write it off, you know what I mean. Anyway, next up we have Alolan Raticate, who is a dual typing of Dark and Normal with the abilities Gluttony, Hustle and Thick Fat. Thick Fat is obviously a very nice ability there. It being Dark and Normal, it is 4 times weak to Fighting, it's weak to Bug and Fairy as well, but it does resist Dark and is also immune to Psychic and Ghost. Has a stat total of 413, so not the highest. It does have a HP stat of 75, 71 physical attack, 70 physical defense, 40 special attack, 80 special defense and 77 speed, so kind of all just balanced out there. The moves that this Pokemon learns from level up, it gets some pretty good moves actually. It gets things like Pursuit, it gets Hyper Fang, gets Crunch, Sucker Punch, Super Fang, Double Edge. Some really nice moves there. Gets some pretty good egg moves as well. Gets Counter, Final Gambit, gets Reversal, Stockpile Swallow, Fury Swipes as well. And it gets a whole bunch of TMs too. It gets Ice Beam, Blizzard, it gets Sludge Wave, Sludge Bomb, Shadow Ball. All these are special attacking moves, and this is obviously a physically attacking Pokemon, so they aren't going to be super helpful. But it does get Shadow Claw, it gets Swords Dance, gets U-Turn, so that's really nice for Switch Initiative. And, you know, Alolan Raticate, obviously Thick Fat is very clutch, but, you know, it's what you're going to do with it, which makes it count. Obviously, he's got a mouthful of something there, I don't even know, but he's definitely having a chomp on something. But anyway, next we have Beware, who is a dual typing of Normal and Fighting with the abilities Fluffy, Klutz and Unnerve. Obviously Fluffy is going to be a pretty decent ability, but it has its benefits and its drawbacks. Obviously reduces the damage from contact moves by 50%, but fire type moves do 200% damage, so, you know, watch out for those kind of moves. Being a dual typing of Normal and Fighting, it is weak to Fighting, it's weak to Flying, Psychic and Fairy, but it does resist Bug, resist Rock, resist Dark, and is immune to Ghost. Has a stat total of 500, which is a very nice stat total. Has 120 HP, 125 physical attack, 80 physical defense, 55 special attack, 60 special defense, and 60 speed. So a very, yeah, it's quite a bulky physically attacking Pokemon going on here. Has some pretty nice move pool as well. It gets Hammer Arm, gets Thrash, Pain Split, Double Edge, Superpower, all very nice moves. It gets Brutal Swing as well. Gets some really good clutch egg moves as well. Gets Force Palm, Ice Punch, Mega Kick, Stomping Tantrum, Thunder Punch. Stomping Tantrum obviously very clutch. The user attacks a target if the user's previous move has failed. The power of this move doubles, so that can be used very nicely in, you know, if you can use that in a very clutch way. Does get a lot of TM moves as well, which really are beneficial to this Pokemon. It gets Dragon Claw, gets Earthquake, gets Rock Tomb, Brick Break, gets Low Sweep, gets Focus Blast, gets Brutal Swing, Shadow Claw, Swords Dance, Rock Slide, Bulldoze. So some really cool moves there. Obviously evolves from Stuffle, who at level 27. Stuffle is probably the cutest thing that's ever came out of Pokemon. I think we can all agree on that. But no, I'm a big fan of Beware. Going to be really hard to take down. Like I said, it is quite bulky. Not that got the best special defense, especially if you get hit by a Flamethrower and you're running Fluffy. It's going to be pretty bad there. Like I say, the other abilities are Klutz and Unnerve, which aren't the best, so Fluffy is probably what you're going to be using on this Pokemon. But that is Beware. Like I said, I'm a big fan of him. I love the design of it. I remember when it was leaked in Cora and everyone was like, oh, that's cute. And then like the next image, he was just like crushing a tree trunk with his bare arms. So, you know, pretty much power, quite a lot of power behind that cute little face. Anyway, next we have Oranguru, who is a Pokemon Moon exclusive Pokemon. It is a dual typing of Normal and Psychic with the abilities Inner Focus, Telepathy, and Symbiosis. I think that's how you pronounce it. Inner Focus obviously prevents you from flinching. Telepathy, it will not. Pokemon with the Telepathy ability, it's hard to say that word. It will not take damage from teammates in double and triple battles. That's quite nice in VGC. And also Symbiosis. The Pokemon can pass an item to an ally. So, you know, pretty good abilities there. This Pokemon being a dual typing of Normal and Psychic, it is weak to Dark and Bug, but is immune to Ghost and is also resistant to Psychic. Has a stat total of 490, has 90 HP, 60 physical attack, 80 physical defense, 90 special attack, 110 special defense, and 60 speed. So, quite a bulky Pokemon actually. It looks like a bulky Pokemon. And gets some really cool moves as well through a level up. Gets Confusion, gets Stored Power, gets Zen Headbutt, Calm Mind, Psychic, Trick Room. Trick Room obviously very nice. Gets Nasty Plot as well. Also gets Extra Sensory, Psychic Terrain, and Wonder Room from Egg moves. The TMs that this Pokemon gets are Psyshock, gets Thunderbolt, Thunder, Earthquake, Psychic, Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, Energy Ball, Payback. gets a Bulldoze and Rock Slide as well. And I'm a big fan of this Pokemon. It's really cool. It's definitely going to be seen a lot in VGC. And yeah, the ability of being able to pass an item to an ally is pretty cool as well. But yeah, that is Oranguru. I could have sworn that he learned a move. I remember watching it in the trailer, but I cannot find it. Maybe it was the ability telepathy. I don't know if it was. No, I'm pretty sure he basically it made it so you could use the same move again, but I can't remember what it's called. Is it Quash? Target Pokemon to move last. And no, I can't remember. I know it was definitely somewhere. I remember seeing it, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys know what I mean anyway. But I think it's Instruct actually. I'm pretty sure it's Instruct. Yeah, it tells the user's teammate in any double or triple battle to use its move, most recent move instead of them. In other words, it allows the teammate to attack twice instead of the two Pokemon attacking once each. So that's actually really broken if you think about it. If you can use that, then yeah, that would be really handy in double battles. Anyway, and next we have Silvally, who is a very, very good Pokemon. It is kind of like a baby Arceus. It is just a normal typing with the ability RKS system, and it changes the type depending on the held item. Obviously, just being a normal typing, it is only weak to fighting and it is immune to ghost. Has a stat total of 570 with 95 stats, base stat of 95 in each category. So obviously HP, attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed, all 95. So very, very bulky and strong as well. It evolves from type 0 through happiness. And gets an incredible move pool, and just everything about this thing is disgusting. Anyway, the moves that it gets just through level up: it gets Fire Fang, Iron Head, Multi Attack, Poison Fang, Ice Fang, Thunder Fang, gets Heal Block, gets Aerial Ace, gets Crush Claw, very nice stab there, gets X Scissor, Takedown, gets Crunch, Double Hit, Air Slash, Punishment, gets Razor Wind, Tri Attack, Double Edge, gets Parting Shot, gets Draco Meteor from Move Tutor, and then it even gets better with the TMs. It gets Dragon Claw, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, Flamethrower, Aerial Ace, Explosion, Shadow Claw, Steel Wing, Thunder Wave if you want to cripple something, gets Swords Dance, Rock Slide, X Scissor, gets U-Turn for Switch Initiative, gets Flash Cannon, gets Surf. So this Pokemon, literally, whenever you come up against it, it can literally, because all of its stats are different, you can run any set on this thing, you can run like any move pool on this thing. It's just a very, very strong Pokemon, and obviously the Arceus system boosting those moves up as well for stab, also very, very nice as well. So yeah, coming up against Silvally is going to be pretty difficult to take down. Obviously, you can come up against a bulky one, you can come up against like a choice scarfed, one, a choice banded one, a choice specs one. Literally could be anything, because obviously a 95 speed stat is very, very nice to have. But yeah, that is Silvally. I love the design of this Pokemon as well. I was going to go over Type Null as well, but I do only like usually going over the evolutions of the Pokemon if they have an evolution. And Type Null is pretty much similar to Silvally, it just has a lot lower speed, which obviously goes up to 95 when he does evolve to Silvally. But that is Silvally. Next up we have Komala, who is just incredibly cute. I mean, look at this thing. Has a unique ability of Comatose, which prevents all status conditions except sleep, so it can't be burned, it can't be paralyzed, it can't be poisoned. That's all really nice. Obviously, it's just a single typing of normal, meaning that it is only weak to fighting, but is immune to ghost. Has a stat total of 480, HP 65, 115 physical attack, 65 physical defense, 75 special attack, 95 special defense, and 65 speed. I was so disappointed that this Pokemon did not get an evolution. I thought for sure it was going to be like a 3-stage evolution. I thought it was going to be similar to Conkeldurr, where obviously it starts off with just like the little pole, and then it gets bigger, and then it has the two like cinder blocks at the end evolution. I thought that was going to be similar to Komala, where the log that it's holding gets bigger and it just transforms into something that it uses as a weapon. But unfortunately, it is just a single stage Pokemon. I think it had so much potential to have an evolution, but unfortunately it did not. It does get some really nice moves though. It does get things like Rollout, gets Rapid Spin, which is really nice, getting rid of hazards, gets Sucker Punch, gets Wood Hammer, gets Thrash. Egg moves, it gets Play Rough, gets Sing, it gets Wish, which is really nice. Gets some really cool TMs as well. Gets Earthquake, Return Brick Break, Low Sweep, Acrobatic, Shadow Claw, gets Swords Dance, gets U-Turn, Switch Initiative, gets Bulldoze, Rock Slide. So yeah, this Pokemon's really, really cool. It has a very, very high attack stat. Obviously, it's quite slow. Kind of bulky, but the physical defense stat of 65 is pretty poor. So that's something you're going to have to watch out for. But like I said, not being able to be burnt or anything like that is really cool for this Pokemon. Obviously, it is a physically attacking Pokemon, and burn does cripple you. But knowing that you cannot be burnt is really, really cool. And obviously, not being paralyzed as well is also pretty handy. But that is Komala. I'm just a huge fan of the design of this Pokemon. I didn't like the fact that it didn't evolve, but just the fact that it's always going to stay like this cute and little cuddly Pokemon. It's always nice to have as well. But last but not least, we have Drampa, who is a dual typing of Normal and Dragon, and with the abilities Berserk, Sap Sipper, and Cloud 9. Cloud 9 is the hidden ability in it. Basically suppresses all effects brought on by weather, so that gets rid of like the sun or the rain or something. Has Sap Sipper as well, which boosts attack when hit by a grass type move, and then its last ability is Berserk, which is, you know, its best ability, and basically it raises the Pokemon special attack by 1 stage when its HP falls below 50%, so that can be very clutch when you see his stat total in a minute. But anyway, we obviously already have covered Drampa, but you know, for people that haven't seen the Dragon video, this is the normal type video. He is immune to Ghost thanks to the normal typing. He also resists fire, water, electric, and grass thanks to the Dragon typing. However, he is weak to ice, fighting, Dragon, and Fairy. Well, he does have a stat total of 485, has 78 HP, 60 physical attack, 85 physical defense, 135 special attack, so obviously get that up with a Berserk ability. That's going to be hitting very, very hard. Has 91 special defense as well and 36 speed, so quite a slow, bulky Pokemon with an incredible special attack stat. So on a Trick Room team, this Pokemon is really going to flourish and do some powerful damage. Get some nice moves through level up, get some Echoed Voice, gets Dragon Breath, gets Extra Sensory, Dragon Pulse, Hyper Voice, Outrage. Egg moves, it gets Hurricane, which is really, really cool. Also gets Play Rough, Dragon Rush, gets Draco Meter as well through Move Tutor. Because it is a Dragon type Pokemon, obviously its TMs are going to be through the roof. It has Dragon Claw, Ice Beam, Blizzard, Hyper Beam, which would actually be Stab, and after a Berserk boost, that's going to do some heavy damage. Also gets Solar Beam, gets Thunderbolt, Thunder, Earthquake, Shadow Ball, Flamethrower, Fire Blast, Focus Blast, Shadow Claw, Energy Ball, gets Bulldoze, Rock Slide, Dragon Tail, Grass Knot, Surf. So just a big bunch of moves with this Pokemon. So, you know, that's really, really cool. And Drampa is a very, very strong Pokemon. Obviously, it looks goofy, you know what I mean? It doesn't look like the most, you know, it doesn't really look threatening at all, but that special attack stat of 135, oh my lord. When you have a special attack stat that high, or a physical attack stat that high, it doesn't really matter what the other stats are, because that's always going to be something you need to be taking into account, and that's something you always need to be aware of, because if it gets a hit in, then, you know, it's going to be, you know, dealing some heavy damage, and it's going to hurt quite a bit. But that is all of the new normal type Pokemon in Sun and Moon, who I really like a lot of them. Obviously, I think the worst are probably Gumshoos and Alolan Raticate, probably the worst two new ones. Oranguru is really cool, it's really useful in VGC, thanks to its ability Instruct as well, and obviously has the abilities Telepathy and Symbiosis. So he's really cool in VGC. Big fan of Toucannon as well, the fact that Beak Blaster can burn the opponent if they make contact with you, that's really cool. Also gets Skill Link and Sheer Force as abilities, so that's really, really clutch. Beware, obviously a very strong Pokemon. Fluffy really lets it down though, being pretty weak to fire type moves, but you know, he is very physically strong with 125 physical attack, and then he has a HP of 120 as well, so that's really, really cool. Komala, big fan of Komala. You know, he is, I really like his ability, I really like his move haul, and I really like his physical attack stat. Bit disappointed they didn't get an evolution, but hey, you know, dreams don't come true sometimes. That's the harsh reality of it. And then last up we have Drampa and Silvally. I'm a big fan of these Pokemon. Drampa just because it hits very, very hard and it has a really cool typing as well. But I think I will have to go with Silvally just because it's so versatile, you know what I mean? It can be running any way. Its move pool is fantastic. It gets so many good moves. Its ability is crazy good, and you know what I mean? It's 95 stat total in each category. Is, you know, it's so close to being a legendary, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think I will go with Silvally. But obviously, if you do disagree with me, please leave your suggestion in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say, because I think a lot of people will disagree with me, but I think a lot of people will agree with me. So yeah, I'd like to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. But that is everything for this video. So if you did enjoy, you know, please smash that like button below. I really do appreciate it. Remember to subscribe if you are enjoying the content and the series, because I'm having so much fun doing this series, and you guys seem to really like it. I do have a couple other videos of this series coming on to your screen in a second, so be sure to check them out if you do have the time. But that is everything from me, guys, so thanks again for watching. Have a glorious day, and peace.